I'm not looking forward to this as much as I was last week. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 6 of Tougen Anki. And the last episode kind of messed me up. It's not like the worst I've been after an episode of something by any means, but the subject matter is specifically like revolving around what the Momotaros of Kyoto are doing just really upset me in a visceral way. And I feel like there's probably a number of reasons for it. I believe I might have mentioned, or I might have mentioned last time, but one of the things that could be part of it is just, my desire to one day be a mother and my, like, desire to have kids. At least one. um, and so I kind of have, like, this almost protective nature over kids when I, like, watch or play media, you know? And so seeing shit in horror movies happen to kids always tends to affect me. And not just horror movies, but shows and games and stuff as well. It doesn't even have to be horror. Um, there's a side of me that likes when shows and movies do this because it's more real. Like with the zombie piece of media, it's like, oh, there would absolutely be child zombies. But most zombie media will never show you a child zombie because it's too sad. But I like when they do because it feels more real. 28 Days Later was able to do it. Telltale's The Walking Dead game did it. It's like we need more of that. We really do. Like, yeah, it's sad, but it's supposed to be. It's supposed to elicit those emotions out of you. Is it as scary? No. Because a child, even with zombie strength, is not going to be as strong as an adult zombie. They're not going to be as dangerous. They're going to be a lot more easily taken care of. But zombie stories shouldn't only be striving to be scary. A good zombie story should be sad. I mean, look at Train to Busan. There's so much sadness in it, and in my opinion, it's the best zombie movie of all time. And I know that might not necessarily be the popular opinion on that, though people love it. It's just people wouldn't normally rank it that high, but I would. I think that it just succeeds in so many places, practically in every place, that other zombie media just doesn't for me. And so when I watch something and it doesn't hold back the brutality against children, there's some people out there who would say that's going too far, it's jumping the shark. It's just, shock for the sake of shock, but I disagree. I think that it's important to show for various reasons. If you do have a piece of horror, then you want kids to be victims as well because it makes your horror villain look that much more evil, which is something you want. And I don't think that you should really hold back with that either. I think that Damien Leone and them holding back on it a bit with Terrifier 3 was a mistake. It's like, yeah, they killed kids, but they refused to show like things as directly on screen as they could have. I think that was a mistake, and I think that took away from the movie a bit. On top of that, Um, I feel like a lot of films and shows are just afraid to really go there. Because, again, children are seen as like this protected class, right? They're seen as vulnerable because of their age, their lack of strength, their size, their lack of intellect comparatively, um, on average at least. There are some exceptions always, but the point is, like, children are much more vulnerable. And so people don't want to see them in a horror situation or being killed in horror situations or just any kind of film like that because they don't really have the emotional intelligence to be able to avoid this kind of stuff as much. It's a case of like, oh, this is just upsetting to a needless degree to some people. But I appreciate that this show went there. I appreciate that this show like had our villains not afraid to just fucking murder a child on screen pretty much. Like, yeah, it was covered up by a mass of body parts or whatnot, but it was still technically on screen. And it did not in any way, shape, or form hide what happened or try to like downplay it even. And then on top of it, you have like the stuff that happens, like, you know, by the end of the episode with this other girl. And it's just, it's a lot. And so it's like, it's kind of like almost contradictory, but that this is how I feel about it. I feel like it's a good decision to put in because of what it like does to show the villains as being as evil as they are. But at the same time, it's upsetting. And so, yeah, it's just, I was kind of left in a bit of a negative state after the last episode. But hopefully, we're able to stop these Momotaro for the time being, get things like handled away, take out all of the bodies being basically possessed currently. It's getting pretty dire pretty quickly. And I feel like it's, I don't know, it just feels early still to really get into like heavy shit. So I don't think too much is going to happen. I think it's going to like, you know, resolve probably in this episode. But at the same time, I'm still worried. I guess we'll just have to see what happens. So let's get into this and hope for the best. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. We're back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I don't know if I can continue this right now. Like, I know we've only been reacting to this again for, like, what, 5 weeks now? Because we did episode 1 separately, and this is episode 6. But it's, like, this is, like, affecting me in clearly a very, unpleasant way that I'm just not in a state for at the moment. Because I've obviously seen things like technically worse than this. I've seen shows and movies that are like more upsetting or do like worse things and everything. But it's like there's a certain point where it just becomes too much. And a lot of it comes down to like my mental state at the time and just where I'm at personally. Because like I've talked about it on the channel before, but my mental health is kind of like a powder keg. It can blow at any time, and I'm not really always in the greatest of emotional states. Even if it doesn't seem like I'm doing poorly, it's like I can tell you right now, it's like I don't exactly showcase it for the camera sometimes. Where it's like, oh, I'll be like excited or like getting into whatever's happening, but like in reality, I'll just be in a really bad emotional state. Um, and just getting temporarily excited over whatever I'm reacting to doesn't always help. A lot of the time it's just a temporary reprieve from the pain. And I'm not saying that like as of when I'm recording this and everything obviously. I'm not saying that I'm in a like really bad state of mind lately, but I'm definitely at a point currently where this is like really starting to bother me. Where my mental health is not like doing well enough to where I can handle this. And don't get me wrong, like it's I'm not at my worst. I'm not like really like deep into a depression or anything like really bad or anything. So don't worry, I'm not like in danger or whatnot. I'm not doing that poorly. But I'm doing poorly enough where something like this that is so deeply and like strongly upsetting is actively like pushing me further down in terms of my mental health status. It's at the point where I feel like if I continue watching this currently, there is a possibility of me getting to that point where I'm just gonna be less and less okay. And I don't know if like it said like they were like gearing up for the finale of I guess this arc. So I'm assuming that it's like there's probably just the next episode and that's gonna close out like this portion of the story. But as much as I would like to continue for one more week, I genuinely don't think I can. I'm in such a genuinely bad state after this episode that I feel like it would be kind of irresponsible to continue at the moment. And I want to make very clear I'm not dropping this. I'm going to say that right off the bat because I'm clearly invested enough in this show that it's making me feel this way. I'm just going to be taking a break because after last week's episode and now after this episode, it's just like it's putting me into a very bad state of mind. And I don't want to be there. So I need to take a break. I can't handle any more of this at the moment. It sucks. I mean, I would rather not have to take the break right now. I would rather like wait. And I would rather hell not even need to take a break at all. But this isn't like some shows where I take a break in the middle of the season just, to make sure that I keep refreshed on it. This is like I need to do this otherwise I'm going to probably have a panic attack and go into a like very bad place that might affect future recordings. Like, this is actually a danger. And so I need to take a break from this and come back to it when I'm gonna be in a better place. Thankfully, right now, this is the only show that's affecting me like this. Pretty much everything else we're reacting to, like, I'm fine with. It's just this one, for whatever reason, is very specifically strongly bothering me. And interestingly enough, I think the worst part of this episode specifically was May's trauma response. That, like, really fucked me up. Just her, like, accepting the way things are. Because it's been this way her entire life. She's never known safety or happiness or comfort. She's always been on the run. She's always been, hunted. And so she's like kind of locked up into this state of, trauma to where she can't even really properly react to anything. It's just one of those things that I'm not okay with. And I'm not really like that really affected me. And then on top of just the general shit happening and the aggressively evil actions of these cunts, it's just I'm having a hard time like even forming thoughts right now. I'm really upset to the point where it's like I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't care to talk about like the radar thing right now because it's like it's neat, it's a useful like power, but I don't really think my mind is like focused on that to any degree. And on top of that, it's like they try to add in a little humor as to like act as levity, like after like during the like calm of it all, by having the support leader guy ask about if the one dude had if it had a girlfriend, and it's just like that. Levity is good, but that's not like quite how you should do it. It's it wasn't the best handling of that, and it didn't work either. I'm not really in a state to talk about much right now. And so if you want to know my thoughts on anything or want to like discuss anything further from the episode, please leave a comment, because by the time this goes up, by the time your comments come in, I'll be able to like discuss this stuff more and better with you guys through the chat, through the comments. It's just, as of recording this, it's just like it's taken its toll on me, and I'm not in a good enough place to really think about much of anything, to really like experience or understand the ramifications of things. Just we're gonna have another poll, and I'm gonna specifically choose shows for the poll that I think are going to uplift my mood a bit. It might be a blending of things. Like there might be like a donation reward. There might be a first impression continuation. There might be something that's just my choice. I don't know. I obviously was not necessarily planning for this today, but I'm going to try to choose specifically things that would be a little more uplifting or nice or friendly. Things that I don't think are going to end up being super heavy. And obviously, if there's something that ends up on the poll that for whatever reason does get super heavy eventually in the series, don't tell me. Don't spoil things for me, please. But yeah, that's my goal right now. So we're gonna we're gonna take off from this for the time being. We will be back. We will return to this. I can't promise when, but I can't do anymore right now. Not after these past two episodes. It's just I'm again going to a state of mind that I just really don't feel like I can be in right now. So I apologize, but like I said, if you want to hear any of my if you want to talk more about like what otherwise happened in this, without spoilers, of course, please feel free to leave a comment. And the poll should be up like shortly after this video goes up, so you could go to the the post tab on YouTube on the channel. You go to the post tab and the poll will be there. Of course, if you have notifications on, you'll just get a notification about it anyway. But for now, thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.